Alright, look, I know the official title of the movie is Blockers, but you guys went out of your way to put a giant rooster on top of the title and try to pass it off as Cock Blockers. So I'm going to do what Jeremy Johns did and call it Cock Blockers for the entire review. You brought this upon yourselves, and now you're stuck with it. Cockblockers stars Leslie Mann, Ike Barinholtz, and John Cena as three parents whose daughters have become best friends since the first day of school, in probably the most cheesy manufactured way possible that I've seen in terms of a movie, but whatever, that's the opening scene, we'll let that go. So the day comes when they're ultimately going to prom. It's that one magical night in high school where kids go lose their virginity. So the parents find out that the three girls have made a sex pact because Leslie Mann found her daughter's computer open and the text application was still up there. Who sends text messages throughout their computer? I don't know, but again, we'll let that slide. So the three parents head out to try to stop their daughters from losing their virginity and thus becoming cock blockers themselves. So that's the plot, but we've actually got two movies going on here. We've got a very good, well-written, coming-of-age film starring these three girls that want to lose their virginity on prom night, and then we've got an over-the-top, outlandish cartoon of a movie with the three adults trying to stop them. And unfortunately, this movie follows the latter half more. Now, I specifically remember seeing this trailer in front of the Disaster Artist, and it was right after they showed the trailer for Game Night, which I thought was a really great comedy. And I just watched the entire trailer for Cock Blockers with my hands over my head, like I was embarrassed to be in the same room as everyone, who was laughing their asses off. The entire theater was laughing nonstop, and I'm just like, what's wrong with you people? So the movie's coming out. A lot of people are saying, man, it's one of the funniest comedies of the year. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I see the movie, and I'm like, you out of your goddamn mind, people? This was awful. Again, there are two movies going on, and the main focus of the movie are the parents trying to stop their kids from having sex and losing their virginity. And everything I was worried about that movie being ended up being true. The parents get themselves in really over-the-top situations that don't seem realistic at all, which I get that comedies have to put characters in an outlandish situation and try to see how they respond, but they just do some things in this movie that go a little too far into the realm of fantasy. And also, this is a premise that is suited for a TV episode, not an hour-and-a-half comedy. Because with an hour-and-a-half comedy, you have to keep us laughing. You have to keep the adrenaline going. And the comedy with all the parents made me absolutely cringe. Leslie Mann, who I find to be funny a lot of the times, is just kind of playing the same character that she does, always keeping a constant smile. If anything, she actually seems like she's bored throughout this whole movie. And with John Cena, I'm not 100% convinced that he could be somewhat of an actor. I mean, I admire that he's going down a more comedic route than The Rock, who is now a full-fledged action star. But then again, Dwayne Johnson started out as very mediocre when it came to acting, so we'll give John Cena some time. But in this movie, we have him playing the overprotective dad, who is so overprotective that he's actually kind of stupid. And then we have Ike Barinholtz, who is kind of the third wheel in this group, and he is probably the most conflicting character for me because I found him to be the most annoying character in the film. He's so goofy, he talks nonstop where I'm just like, oh, will you shut the fuck up? But he's the only member of the group that's actually making some sense. And whenever he's on screen and talking, I'm like, man, you are downright annoying. But goddammit, I agree with you. Let's just let this shit go. They're adults. They can handle themselves. Now, I'm actually glad that I'm recording this review a little late, because if I had recorded it as soon as I walked out of the theater, I would have just said, man, this is not funny at all. I don't get what everyone's thinking. But upon thinking about it a little more, I actually do like some things about it. Like I mentioned, the other half of the movie, which is these three girls losing their virginity, is really good. The three actresses are really good. They have great comedic timing, good chemistry with each other. They get the best lines in the movie. And at that point, it just feels a little more realistic. I don't want to say it's in the vein of a John Hughes movie or Richard Linklater film, but more like American Pie, where it's raunchy, but it's not super over the top to the point where you can't buy any of it. You actually do buy into this story, and this is a weird request, but you remember when The Last Jedi came out and there were those idiots on the internet who made a cut of the movie that deleted all the women, and then they made a cut that deleted all of the men in the movie. I'm hoping somebody takes this movie, it takes cock blockers, and cuts out everything that involves the adult subplot, and just focus on the teenagers, because it would have been a really good short film. But unfortunately, most of this movie does focus on the adults, and the movie is more marketed around them trying to stop their daughters. So I just can't get on board with everyone. This is one instance where I don't meet eye to eye with everyone. It's funny because this movie has an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm like, it sucks. I didn't think this was funny at all. And then you look at Rampage, which is opening this weekend, and I'm like, I had fun with it. And it's like, last I checked, 49%, which, not terrible, but it's definitely a rotten rating. With this movie, it never made me angry, so I can't tell it to burn in hell, because all the stuff with the daughters I did like. I guess because I like the stuff with the three girls so much, I'd say watch at your own risk. I did get some chuckles here and there, but ultimately the stuff with the three parents annoyed the crap out of me. But every time we were with the three daughters, it was actually pretty well done. Funny, I like Rampage a little better, and yet I give it the same rating as this. And that's my review for Cock Blockers. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below and tell me what your thoughts are on the movie, if and when you've seen it. And as always, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.